Okay, everybody, welcome back to the South Atlantic Conference Camp Meeting Highlights for 2018. I am your host, Dr. Everton A. Ennis. I am privileged to be the pastor of New Jerusalem Praise and Worship Center in Douglasville, Georgia, as well as the Newnan First Seventh-day Adventist Church in Newnan, Georgia. It's my pleasure to take you on this ride around an update of the South Atlantic Conference River Oaks Campground and Convention Center here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Our president is Elder William L. Winston, president of the South Atlantic Conference, assisted by Pastor David A. Smith and Mrs. Merkita Mosley, executive secretary and treasurer of the conference, respectively. This morning, I gave you an update minutes after 7 while the morning service was in progress, and you saw how scanty the campground was in terms of the people coming. That's because those who encamped here this week were the ones in attendance at the 7 o'clock service. Right now, I want to give you a drive around on my golf cart and update you as to what has transpired about 4.5 hours later. The midday service, the 11 o'clock service, is now in progress. As you see, the front parking lot is full. Let me give you a walk around for this time being so that you can see what I'm talking about. This front parking lot is full. This is where we house our handicap parking. And we have our security personnel at the front, the main gate here, directing traffic. And of course, we have a number of golf carts driven primarily by our pastors because, of course, in South Atlantic Conference, our pastors are here to serve. And so I'm privileged to be numbered among these awesome colleagues of mine. As you see, there are people turning in off of Nice's Highway here in Orangeburg onto the South Atlantic Conference campground, and we are continuing to see an increase in our attendance today. And so this is just at the main gate, the beginning of the process, as we are going to take you now on a drive around on my golf cart. The front parking lot, we may have a few more spaces there for the handicapped persons and the elderly people who attend the camp meeting here. And that in the background, of course, is the convention center for South Atlantic Conference. It houses 4,100 people, fully air-conditioned, individual chairs for seating. It's an awesome place to be. It's a great facility and a venue for your retreats, your conventions, and different types of programs that you'd like to host for your local church or for your organization in our community. Just check with South Atlantic Conference at sacsda.org. That's sacsda.org. The telephone number at the South Atlantic Conference is 404-792-0535. Once again, the telephone number for the corporate office of the South Atlantic Conference is 404-792-0535. So as we normally do here at South Atlantic for a camp meeting, we engage the local sheriff's office as they assist us with parking and with peacekeeping, as well as they help us to just maintain the order here. Of course, our services and programs are open to the entire community. Anyone can come, and so we just want to make sure that everyone is safe and protected while they are here for this awesome encampment. Our speaker today, which is the second and final Sabbath of the camp meeting, is Dr. Rupert Bushner out of the Southeastern Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. And so he's going to be preaching today in this amazing pavilion. This is the main pavilion that you're looking at here right now. All right, and so as you see here, we have the local law enforcement that we've engaged. And this is one of our sheriff deputies here, and good to see you this morning. And we're just doing a ride around right now on my golf cart, so it might be a little bit noisy in the background, but don't pay that any attention. Just want to show you an update as to what's going on since our last video this morning. And here are our beautiful law enforcement officers. These are the South Atlantic Conference Veggie Cops. Sister Gilchrist and her companion there. All right, so here we have in the front parking area, the spaces are nearly all taken at this time, and I'm going to wrap around one more time so that I can show you the building. This is the South Atlantic Conference Seventh-day Adventist Convention Center, and that's Pastor Ronnie Williams, one of our security officers here at South Atlantic Conference. All right, folk are going in for service. I'm going to give you just a snippet of what's going on right now inside the main auditorium and then take you back on the outside as we continue with our tour. All right, so now we're going into the main entrance of the pavilion. The intercessory prayer had just ended, and so this is the response to the intercessory prayer. Let me just pan the audience at this time without any audio from myself, no voice. And that's Siobhan Floyd Simpson with camp meeting. So we're back outside now. I'm gonna just do a drive around the main pavilion so you can see how populated this campground has become over the past 4 hours. As I mentioned to you, that at the height of the day's activities, the campground becomes like a little city. We have close to 4,000 people here all together between the main pavilion, the youth pavilion, and the young adults this year are renting the youth department. They're renting a facility across the street from South Atlantic Conference property here, where the Impact Young Adult Ministry Service is being held. And so we're going now past the big house. That's the big house that I showed you in the video earlier this morning, where the senior ladies tend to reside during the camp meeting. And this is the added parking here on the sides as we go down toward the hotel. That is the cafeteria in the background beyond these cars right here. And of course, as you could see, for as far as you could see, we have parking. We were quite busy this morning transporting individuals from their vehicles back up to the main pavilion, as well as to the youth pavilion, as it would be a bit uncomfortable for them to walk this distance. Some ladies in stilettos and in nearly 90-degree temperatures here in Orangeburg, South Carolina. This is the custom here in Orangeburg, as it is quite hot during the month of June and the month of July here in South Carolina. And so all the way down on the dirt road, down toward the extreme rear section of our property, and I see some people are looking as if they need a ride, so let me go see. They heard the cart and they were about to walk and they stopped walking. And so back in the days, we used to have the tents like other camp meetings still do today, where the pastors had to have the tent pitch, and we would come and erect the massive canvas tents, and those were quite hot because of the heat that would be trapped underneath them. And so we are going to pick up some passengers. You're looking for a ride? I know you are. All right. Good morning. How are you today? Awesome. Climb aboard.
Thank you.
All right. So we have a couple of passengers, and we're just showing you the extent of the parking area that we have had to utilize down here, all the way down in the back section. Oh, we have some more people here still coming in. All right. And as you see in the background is our tremendous ocean back there. Well, no, I'm just kidding. That's just a pond. All right, so I'm taking some passengers that I found along the way while I was shooting my video. So I'm going to take them to the main pavilion. Anyone wants to go to the youth pavilion? You want to stop? All right, you want to walk? Okay, great. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're going to do another tour of the motels when we come back down, and we're going to take a swing by the youth pavilion as well, so you can see how the crowd has built up over there. I'm going to go on the inside just like I did with the main pavilion and show you the attendees at this year's camp meeting 2018 South Atlantic Conference, Orangeburg, South Carolina. All right, so now we're going toward our youth pavilion. This is our golf cart course that we're on. This is where we drive to take our passengers to the youth pavilion and beyond. And this is a dirt track, so we want to be careful around here. Down there we have the residence of our camp superintendent, Brother Larry Fullard. Great man. Takes wonderful care of this campground. We're always proud of South Atlantic Conference. So we have, as you see, as opposed to this morning, a lot of cars here right now. It's around 12 o'clock thereabouts as we intensify in the midday service. And we're going to go by the youth center for just a moment. Many of God's people are here today from all the churches, 160 churches in the Great South Atlantic Conference. I'm going to pull up right here. All right, so here we have multitude of cars indicative of a lot of people in attendance, and this is the final Sabbath of camp meeting. Of course, that's Pastor Green. He is our chief of campus security. Hey, Pastor Green. Hey, everybody. Hey, Laura. Good to see you. Awesome. And this is our youth pavilion. And it also serves as the headquarters of our campus safety and security team, and it's good to be here today. And this is the youth service. The youth service, the young adults are across the street as I indicated before, and these are some of the attendees. And that's Pastor Quinn Cousins.
How y'all doing? Listen, you in that camp meeting, you missed the treat.
This is a pictorial of our youth directors over the years in the Great South Atlantic Conference. Of course, I didn't show you my ride all this time that we've been riding together, and that's my golf cart. So right now in South Atlantic, there are people everywhere for today's finale of Camp Meeting 2018. They're parked everywhere that we allow them to park, and we're just so grateful that God's people can come together in this fashion to experience a tremendous spiritual refreshing from on high. These are down by the motels again, as you can see in the background and on the side of us right here. We normally don't permit parking on the grass, but of course sometimes we have to make an exception because of the number of people who are here. We're glad that the people have come. This demonstrates that in South Atlantic Conference, our people support conference initiatives. And so we're grateful for them and to them. These are the people who keep our churches alive and functioning and participate so fully in the advancement of the Three Angels message. And that's a clearer shot of the pond that we talked about this morning. And those who live on the backside here, I quipped this morning that they get to have an ocean view looking at that pond out there. And of course, you see the parking kind of wraps around the water. How are you? Would you like a ride to the pavilion?
Hey.
Are you going here or up top? Okay, all right, great. You're welcome. Happy Sabbath.
Where is a good place to probably find the parking?
It's kind of difficult right now. You pretty much have to just drive around because the parking attendants have pretty much signed off.
Okay,
So
that's
just
fine.
anywhere that you can squeeze in.
Okay, so I don't know. Is there something against me?
Isaiah chapter 14, beginning at verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his holy word.
Beautiful when you drew. This is a beautiful piece of property God has blessed us. We thank those who take care of this property, Brother Fuller, Percy Case, their families who give their time and service. I misspoke a while ago. I said Woodfork was 95 and 96. He's 97. He's 97 years old. We have some people here from
This is the infamous Sister Ernestine Lockhart, Master Guide par excellence in South Atlantic Conference. Awesome woman of God.
A bachelor's degree from Oakwood University and a master's of divinity degree from Andrews University. He continued to show evangelist from 1985 to 2006, and again from 2010 to 2013 he served as chaplain at Oakwood University. In March of 2013, Dr. Bushner was installed as the pastor of the Mount Calvary SDA Church in Huntsville, Alabama. He is also the men's ministry director for the South Central Conference. During his matriculation at Oakwood University, he met the love of his life, Joanne King. Sister Joanne, stand up and turn around and let us. A love of young people and passionate about empowering both the young and the old. This is Pastor Bush is my friend. We go back to the Oakwood days and the Andrews days. And, I love him as a brother and I appreciate him. But Pastor Bush, I have somewhat against him. I need to go ahead and put it out so I can be blessed when you preach. Pastor Bush is leaving South Central in a week or so. But I think on the third Sabbath of July, you'll be installed in your new church there at Tapper's Chapel in the Orlando area, Winter Garden, Florida.
I prayed for. But through it all, I know. What is it that you know? That the sun is going to shine in the morning. Do you believe that today? That the sun is going to shine in the morning? If I hold out, the sun is going to shine. The sun we're talking about is not the S-U-N, but it's the S-O-N. If I hold out. So feel all alone. There's no one around to call on. My friends have gone, my family have gone to call on. But I must be like David and encourage myself. I must endure. For I know, the Bible says, wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he will strengthen thine heart. The sun is going to shine if I hold out. The sun is going to shine if I hold out. This is where I find my place in worship, and I say, weeping may endure for a night. It may endure. But I want you to know that trouble don't last always. It won't last always.
Joy comes in the morning. I just have to wait on it. I won't let go of my faith. Can't let go because God said He sent His Son that He's going to shine if I just hold out.
The hustle and bustle for our young people as they try to find their place. We thank God for them, that they would even come to camp meeting. That's a wonderful and positive thing as we take our young people very seriously here in the South Atlantic Conference. We thank God for each and every one of them and all of our churches. Two of my colleagues, Pastor Darren Davis and Pastor Dominique Best, part of the security team, and they're going to give a shout out. Hey everybody, it's Pastor Best and Pastor Darren Davis, our security man. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We just want you to know here at South Atlantic Conference that in spite of everything that's happening in the world and the news around us, Jesus Christ still reigns. I hope you enjoyed this video tour of the South Atlantic Conference campground and the camp meeting in session. And I pray that if you have not yet formed a relationship with Jesus Christ, that you would consider doing so today. Because the Bible says, God so loved the world, He gave His